What's up, guys? Welcome back to TR Kara Ola channel again. Today, we're going to discuss kennel blindness. A few weeks ago, I had posted it on our story because, I'm all about educating, I'm all about promoting the real type Rottweilers, the true FCI breed standards for Rottweilers. And that's what we always talk about. I always talk about. And what I want to talk about today is kennel blindness. I had posted and I got a lot of messages in regards to that. Hey, people were asking the details, and also a lot of breeders, well wishers. They was like, hey, good job on this, but I wanted to go dive deeper a little bit in that kennel blindness so people can understand what this disease is, what this condition is, and it's actually ruining a lot of breeders, a lot of breeding programs, and then of course it's ruining the breed itself. So again, there's so many things goes into it, but I'm gonna go high level because I don't wanna sit here and and just talk for hour about just this one thing. But what I want to touch on is lack of knowledge that is part of kennel blindness, income, denials, and limited kennels, small kennels, or people that have not a lot of options to put the right pairing together, and they gotta breed. So anyway, so let's just go get into it, right? We talk about lack of knowledge. What's lack of knowledge is like people aren't doing their research. People aren't doing not aren't educating themselves on this breed and what breed standards are, what a true Rottweiler should look like, what a true Rottweiler should act like temperament and all that stuff. And people get tied up into dogs from unreputable breeders, breeding programs, I would say, because they didn't do their research. They didn't educate themselves that, hey, yes, I want to go to XYZ breeders to make sure that they're laying the solid foundation of their kennel. So that's one thing, right? And if you don't educate yourself, you'll never learn. If you don't do research, you will never find these reputable breeders that are doing the good things for the breed. And once you don't know these things, you can't ever have good dogs. You can't ever have good breeding program, right? So make sure you do the research, right? Lack of knowledge is a big thing. Income plays a big factor in kennel blindness. So first of all, the lack of knowledge makes you blinded, gets you blinded by just these distractions, and then this that you're not supposed to focus on. Income, people that are focused on, like, again, I love money, right? We all do. And I am all about making money, right? I've People that know me, that they know that, hey, I've been into these businesses not just in dogs, but just handling bigger, larger operations. But the thing is, income, when I say what causes kennel blindness, is when you're relying on just puppies' income to make sure that you can pay your bills and groceries and all that stuff. Like I said, there's nothing wrong in making money. Of course, dogs cost money to keep up, and food and all, and vet bills and whatnot. So you gotta make money. But if you're relying just on the puppies, you're just gonna keep pumping puppies. Because guess what? You have mortgage to pay. You got other bills to pay. You have, I don't know, what other things to do. So when people are relying specifically on dogs' income, that's where they can go. They can get blinded. They can get like, hey, I gotta keep pumping puppies for me to be able to get the money so I can pay the bills, right? And if you do it right, whatever money you bring, you put back in your business, put it back in the betterment of your program, and not just solely focus on that, hey, I want to pay my bills from these puppies that I'm going to sell, you're going to get on the right track. That is another thing that goes into kennel blindness, because you're blinded by what's right for the breeding program, what's right for the dog, but you're focused on income, right? Instead of the bigger picture. Another thing that is that's another very important thing, and it goes hand in hand with the lack of knowledge, is denial, right? People that are living in denial, and that goes for not just for this breeding business, breeders, but in overall in anything you go. Living in denial is the worst thing you can do to yourself. In dogs business and breeding business, people that are living in denial means they don't want to accept that their dog is not doing well. They don't want to accept that the dog is not doing well just in show rings. Not everybody shows, but even in general, the conformation wise, the temperament wise, the health wise, your dog is not supposed to be, your dog doesn't look the way it should be looking as per the breed standards. So you're just living in the denial, and you just keep telling yourself you have a perfect dog. There's no such thing, perfect dog, right? There's no such thing. Perfect dog is what they define in breed standards. That's what perfect dog is, right? We as breeders, we try to come as close as possible to that perfection, right? And then once we get there, that's when we got to focus on how can we keep up, how can we be consistent with this, right? So again, like I said, denial is another thing that can ruin your program, because you're focused on the wrong stuff. You're living in that denial that, hey, you have a perfect dog. You're living in a denial that your program is just bulletproof. No, there's no such thing. You got to keep working on improving, and then in just be open-minded. Reach out to people that are doing it right, and don't be jealous. Just appreciate if somebody else has a better dog. Reach out to them that, hey, how are you doing it? Can you walk me through? I have mentors, right? I've reached out to people. I ask questions. I'm learning every day something new. So again, there's no shame in asking questions. There's no shame in reaching out to people and asking for help, and signing up for those mentorship programs, signing up for mentors if people are offering. So again, guys, this is not just for Rottweilers, right? I focus on Rottweiler when I talk about dogs and stuff. I'm focused on Rottweilers, but I'm sure it goes to any breed standards. And then some of the things that I mentioned in, lack of knowledge, living in denial, these things, they can go into any business aspect, not just breeding business, right? Because no matter what you're doing, what business, you have to keep improving. Of course, you got to make money, but the right way, right? You got to have some sort of backbone that, hey, yes, I'm doing right by the breed. Yes, I respect myself. Yes, I respect this breed. So have that mentality. Again, guys, I wanted to come here, touch these few points, and I can keep going on and on and on and keep talking about these things. It's just my passion and my focus is to keep in promoting the real type Rottweilers, real breed standards, guys. Again, take care of yourself. We will see you in the next video. And until then, be good and be kind. Thank you.